how fast anybody is in the dwarf cars, if you're starting inside second row and back and you see those two guys on the front row,
c'est la vie.
You have got to be
intimidated.
Frustrated. I would say frustrated. Those two guys are so fast, but then you look at what happened. I mean, we had a bunch of guys in the top 5. Robustelli, we had a caution.
Yep.
We had a caution for, I can't remember who it was, spun up in turn 2. Robustelli is the leader. And all of a sudden falls off the pace and gets towed off the track. We never did find out what happened to the 25 car, but he didn't finish. And he gave the lead to the 2 of Brock Peters. And from that point on, Brock Peters was just like, hey, man, listen, I'm going to get this job done.
He checked out.
Yeah,
That's an understatement. But
that dude is fast.
Out. Yes.
That 2 car in the dwarf division at Southern Oregon Speedway, it's a second win of the year. I believe Robustelli has 2 wins. And one other driver has a win. I want to say it was Anyway, Josh King in the 09 was right there with Brock Peters. We had Steve Walker in the 13. He was right there in the mix and had a real shot to win it. I believe he pulled off the track. He slowed up in turns 3 and 4. Brock Peters, as good as he is and as fast as he is, had a little bit of luck on his side that night. And there's that old saying in racing, it's better to be lucky than good any day.
Well, those guys was so fast.
Oh.
To me, they're like a sprint car that's been picked too early off the vine.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, they was cooking. I mean, they was faster than I've seen them in a while. Let me put it that way.
Hauling the mail.
Yeah, they were.
They were. Let's move to night number 3 on Modified Speed Week was Coos Bay.
Yep.
Coos Bay Speedway. Very interesting setup down there for the main event. I'm not talking heat races. There's so many heat races with 2 rounds per group. I want us to focus on the features. When I saw the highlight video, I stood up. I stood up because, given what happened the night before, and to see the front row on the next night as Colin Weinbarger and Kellen Chadwick, I thought, oh, this is going to get interesting. This is going to get interesting. That main event went flag to flag, caution-free race. That does not happen very often, especially with modifieds, open-wheel race cars. Caution-free. They were caution-free all night long at Wairika. I mean, from heat races all the way through the LCQ, the 2B mains, and the feature, there was no cautions. I mean, this is the group that we're talking about. This is phenomenal, talented field here. Caution-free. Weinbarger gets the win. Guess who finished second?
Do I have to guess?
Kellen Chadwick.
Of course.
Was second. So that gives Weinbarger 2 wins to this point and 2 seconds for Chadwick. Okay. 8 cars were on the lead lap when that one finished.
There was some all-out racing going on.
8 cars. Do you think Weinbarger and Chadwick were trying to prove something to each other?
Yes, sir, buddy.
I mean, and everybody else?
Yep. They're the 2 fastest ones on the track.
My goodness. 28 cars in attendance. I thought this was an interesting stat. It was the first back-to-back winner on the series since Kellen Chadwick in 2016. You're going to hear these names all night long, guys. We're talking Weinbarger and Kellen Chadwick. You'll hear other names, but these are the guys that, are doing it right now. These are the guys that are on the point, bringing their stuff and throwing it around. These are the guys that are doing it, okay? 28 cars on night number 3. Top 5, Weinbarger for the win, Chadwick for second. Travis Peary, who actually just posted the video we were talking about from Sunset with, you just had it up, pouring down rain, which we'll try to get an update, what's going on down there. If someone can update us, let us know if that was a quick shower that soaked the place that they can run in, or if they're just calling it a night. Bryson James showed up for the first night, his first night on the series, in night number 3, finished 4th, I'm sorry. and Gray Ferrando rounded out the top 5. Do you find it weird, guys, that we're on night number 3 here in this discussion, and that's the first time we've said the name Gray Ferrando?
Kind of shocking.
But he was running good in the other races. It's just in the back.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the talent pool that these guys have to deal with. We're on the 3rd night of we're covering, we're recapping the nights here, and it's the first time we've said Gray Ferrando's name, and he finished 5th.
Yeah, but look at those top 5 names. Every one of those cars is a winner in itself. It could be.
Yeah. Well, listen to the B main winners. Danny Lauer, who finished 2nd the first night at Wairika, won a B main, and Lightning John Campos in the B feature wasn't locked into the main. He's the defending series champion, and he's coming out of the B mains. We know how fast he is. You don't even have to say it. You just say Lightning John Campos, and you know how. I mean, his reputation precedes himself. He's the defending state champion. Well, he's a former state champion, but he's the defending series champion.
They don't call him Lightning for nothing.
You're right. You're right. The LCQ winner, Eston Whistler, Jimmy Whistler's son. This kid's 16 years old. He's registered as 16 years old. He doesn't look like he's 16, but I mean he is a young talent coming out. He's coming out of the cage carts. Spent some time in the cage carts. He's been moving up, making the transition to big cars, and he's at 16 running the Wild West modified shootout series. I mean, if you're going to learn, why not learn with the best talent there is to learn from, right? Why not?
Well, he's in a good talent pool,
and he's in a good car. Absolutely. Let's move to night number 4. Now, we're only 40 minutes into the show, and we're moving on to night number 4. Cottage Grove. 2 nights at Cottage Grove. This is the first night. Okay, 4th night of racing, first night at Cottage Grove. The two-day show at Grove. Okay.
Guess what? There's 2 names we're going to hear again.
Guess what? Guess who won? 3rd consecutive win on the series.
Weinberger.
Colin Weinberger, 3rd win in a row. Okay.
And it's kind of a repeat at SOS. I mean, here's Colin
flipped
chasing. Yeah, it's flipping.
Yep.
Chasing down Chadwick, and now Chadwick's chasing down Weinberger.
Right. And Chadwick, from the reports that we got, ran him down in lap traffic, but couldn't get the pass for the win.
Yeah, I watched the live video of that. It was a good race.
It was. And so here's the thing. You can run down Colin Weinberger, and I don't mean run down. I mean reel him in. Let's use the words. I'm not talking run him down. I'm talking about reeling him in on the racetrack, okay? Reeling him in is one thing. Passing that dude is a whole different ball game.
Let's say catching.
Catching.
Yes.
Yeah.
He caught him.
But
it's just like landing a big fish. You get him up close to the bank, and you don't know if you're going to get him up there or not.
Well, and he didn't get him.
Nope.
That was the 6th career series win for Weinberger, tying him for 2nd most in series history.
Tonight could have been a really big night.
Well, and we're trying to get word. We'll figure out if we've got anything. Let me. I'm waiting on messages from somebody to let us know if they're going to run. But first night at Grove, Weinberger gets the win, his 3rd in a row in the series. Chadwick ran him down on lap traffic, couldn't get the pass for the win, finished the 2nd. Weinberger walks out with his 6th career series feature, tied 2nd most for series history. 1 caution in this race on lap number 9. Okay. Listen to the top 5. This top 5 I thought was very, very interesting. Weinberger wins. Chadwick 2nd. 3rd place goes to Jake Maiden. Haven't said his name yet. Okay, he's one of the guys. He's a Cottage Grove guy. Finishes 3rd. Bryson James back in the discussion with another top 5 with a 4th place finish. And rounding out the top 5, this right here, you take Kellen Chadwick and Colin Weinberger. Talk about them all you want. This right here, the 5th place finisher, to me is the highlight of the night at this show. Gus Cooper, the number 10. Here's a guy that is a Cottage Grove guy. Has been at Cottage Grove for a long, long time. The whole family. Okay, they've got some serious roots in that track. And they don't do a lot of the big stuff, the traveling, and it's not what they do. I mean, they do, but they don't. Like these guys do every year. For him to get a top 5 against these guys, I mean, you look at his car, the silver car with an orange number. You don't see a bunch of sponsorships on it. You don't see the big fancy wraps. This is the guy. I love seeing guys like this get in the top 5. I love seeing guys like this get the win. But The one guy that we call them sleepers. They get under the radar and they make a statement. I thought when I saw the top 5, I thought, how cool is that for Gus Cooper and those guys? That was awesome.
And he led 4 laps.
He led 4 laps in the feature. That's right. He did. Good for him. I was happy to see that. Last night was night number 5 of the series. Second night at Cottage Grove. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If I told you that Colin Weinbarger was going to have 3 consecutive feature wins and one guy was going to end that streak, who would you say, honestly, was going to be the guy to end that streak?
I would say Chadwick at this point.
Yep.
Both of you guys say Chadwick.
Sure.
Every single person here at this table is all nodding their heads saying, yep, Kellen Chadwick. Guess what? Kellen Chadwick did it. He got the job done, got his second win, okay, and ended the streak of 3 in a row. Weinbarger had a huge lead in this one, and Chadwick ran him down. Caught him, reeled him in, whatever you want to say. He got there. This is where the discussion starts on the show.
Yep.
We primed the pump earlier. We're going to talk about it again, okay? Precursor. So when nobody gets offended and PO'd and thinks that we're bashing that, and nobody is bashing anything here, okay? Let's get that. I know what's going to happen after we have this discussion. There's going to be messages. There's going to be, I'm telling you right now, get ready for the comments to come in. Chadwick wins. Weinbarger ends his 3 in a row streak. Weinbarger had a huge lead. Chadwick catches him. Contact on
Between 1 and 2.
Okay.
I watched it.
But here's the thing. Here's what I found so ironic about this.
Yep.
Contact on lap 32.
Yep.
The exact same lap what happened at Sunset or at Southern Oregon. Lap 32 is when it all went down. It goes down on night number 2 at Cottage Grove on lap 32. Contact is made. The Superman car spins and is sent to the back.
2 laps to go.
Okay. This is where this discussion kicks into high gear. And this is what we're going to spend a lot of time talking about tonight. We've talked about it on this show, and we're going to voice some opinions. This is not intended to make anybody mad, hurt anybody's feelings, or trash talk about anybody. Okay? But we're going to be real about stuff. You guys know me. When it comes to being real on this show, I'll do it. I'm not afraid to say how I feel about it, and I'm going to put that out there on this scenario. Okay?
And when you get ready, I watched it, and I'll give you my
So let's just go through the highlights real quick. The contact, the spin, Superman gets sent to the back. Chadwick inherits a lead with 3 laps to go and drives to his 5th series win. Do we have a rivalry this year or what?
Yes,
I mean,
we
this
do.
this is what you want to see if you're going to be one of those fans following the series. This is what it's all about, okay? Chadwick drove to his 5th series win. That puts him 3rd all time.
Right behind.
Colin Weinbarger, who's got 6, tied for 2nd.
There you go.
Okay. I want to go back to this contact on lap 32 where Colin Weinbarger spun and went to the back, okay? This is a decision that has to be made by officials, okay? This has been a controversial rule for forever, since it was first instituted, okay? There's 2 ways to look at this, okay? And I'm going to give you both ways. So I've been around this game a long time. I've seen almost everything there is to see. You're the leader. You're the leader. Somebody runs up on you. There's contact made. The leader gets spun and sent to the back. Ed, do you think that's fair?
No.
Gary?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Okay, you're kind of... Dave, tell me if you think that's a fair call.
No, not unless the leader purposely tries to take the other guy out, which I didn't see that.
Okay. Nina,
No.
you don't think it's fair.
No.
Okay. Now let me state